man.
All right, we got him.
We like to apologize.
For what?
To absolutely no one.
The two-time champ does absolutely fucking nothing.
Never mind.
Go on, might as well say it. What are you gonna say? Unless it's something brilliant.
No, it's about some guests. That's all. They said they're gonna come if they do Zoom. I hope they're watching as well because they said that promise. So
okay. Well,
yeah. Shout out to
have
them.
it.
Welcome on. Made In Chafford podcast episode 204.
Yes,
I
sir.
could be wrong.
I think so.
Love for that. I am tired. Two Dems, the real is back. The real is back. Mr. Barcelona himself. If you know, you know. Do your Googles. DK dancing. Watch your back. I'm him, and I'm back in the UK.
Back like you never left.
But before we continue, can you clean your camera? Then, because it looks like there's a halo.
Oh, it's because I got the blur function on.
That's bias.
I can change it.
That's bias.
So that's no background. That's a blur function.
You still need to clean your camera. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's too much oil there.
Man said it's oily.
Yeah, man.
There's nothing I can do. That's it.
Pause. Oh, that's better. That's
oh,
the greatest part. Yeah.
Well, then the camera's just shit. It's nothing to do with me. What a time
God will help you. Don't worry. Nah, man. God will help you one day. Anyway, this is not a permanent solution. This is just a temporary solution for everything that's going on currently at the moment. So it's all good.
Yeah, man. Let's keep moving. Cole Sanusi, Don Cooler in the building. The one and only, aka L.O. Coolins, aka C-Note, aka Hollywood Cole. We here, man. Coming for your left there, your right there, surround sound, smart speakers, portable speakers, you name it, we there. Episode 204. Let's get it.
Eman G45, G solid in my name, the 45 is silent.
Come on.
That's what I'm gonna say for today. I hope everyone's blessed, I hope everyone's good. You know what I'm saying? I hope the Lord is shining upon your life and stuff like that. Get me? You know, not bowing down to false gods, waving different flags and that. But listen, we're all good, man. We're all good.
Man said false flags. You're crazy for that.
Who's he eyeing?
I said waving different flags. I didn't say false flags. But
that's basically what you mean, though.
Get me.
False flagging out here.
Yeah.
I've got something random.
Yeah,
actually.
Man. Right.
I got something random we can try get into. So I'm currently at Yard and I have Transformers Revenge of the Fallen on, and it's just on telly, innit? And you know what? The first hour of this movie is actually okay. Like,
which one is this? Is this number 2?
The second one.
Nah, there's no way you can't.
When they go to Egypt. Now, everything post Egypt has been terrible. Like, I want to turn this off. But the first hour, I weren't mad at it, and it just got me thinking, like, what films have you guys seen where you like actually enjoy it? You enjoy it to a certain point, and then after a certain point, you're like, you know what? They fumbled the bag. It is now rubbish.
Example of that for me is probably Oppenheimer, because I thought, do you know what? This could be a goated film. First 2 hours, I really enjoyed the first 2 hours of Oppenheimer, and then that third hour, I was like, yo, what? This is a completely different film. If you wanted to do Oppenheimer 2, have at it, you know. But that first hour, that last hour, really changed the way I view that film.
How come that they just grind to a halt?
Well, yeah, the second half is literally a completely different storyline. It's not even about the creation of the bomb anymore. It's more about him and his life. If you wanted to see that, cool. I know some people have really enjoyed the deep dive into who he actually was, but for me, it wasn't it.
I mean, the movie is called Oppenheimer, though.
No, I hear it, but I wanted to hear the film about. I wanted to see his story building the atom bomb. I guess, do you know what? That's also forced marketing because that's how it was portrayed. The whole thing was more about him and his journey towards building the atom bomb. It wasn't anything to do with everything after that and the trials and tribulations he went through as a person. If they wanted to do that, they could probably done it in less time as well. I just think it longing the film out like that was insane.
Did you man actually
I thought
enjoy
the
the
film was
film?
about him. I thought the film was about him on a level.
Mm,
Like, so with everything that happened with him being a socialist, him being an individual that really wasn't, he was unorthodox in sort of his realm of science to the point he's now going to studying or teaching
mm.
certain depths of quantum mechanics, quantum science itself. So I thought the film was about him. So did I enjoy it? That day I was tired. So I was sleeping. Like,
Mm.
and the worst part is, like, when you have those good like 2 5-minute naps where
Mm.
you're just out and you wake up and that's all you needed. So that's what happened. And I woke up bang in the middle of the sex scene. I'm like, whoa, what's this? I was in shock. I was in shock, man. I was
That
like,
scene's
yo,
insane.
Was
yeah, because
randomly
I
clapping
was just there
cheeks.
like this, and then bang, I was like, yo, hold on,
Florence
hold
Pugh,
on a minute.
baby.
Fair enough.
So, but
He has my respect.
I couldn't enjoy the film to its fullest just because of how I was very much tired. But I did think overall it was a decent film. What
Mm.
message they were trying to showcase in every aspect,
Did he
whether it be
redeem himself?
socially.
Sorry, man. Did he redeem himself from Tenet in your opinion or nah? Or did you like Tenet? I swear you liked Tenet. One of
I
you
I
liked
really
Tenet.
enjoyed Tenet. Yeah,
That's
Hey,
I
his
really
worst
man.
film for
enjoyed it.
me.
That's one of the worst. Not even his worst film. It's one of the worst films I've seen in general.
Yeah, easy.
I couldn't believe what I
I
saw.
I've never been that confused in a cinema. I just think like what was happening here? I couldn't explain the story.
All I know
It
is
made
that I enjoyed it.
it was a spectacle to behold. They actually
Yeah.
learned moving back in time. For 10 out of 10 for that. But the actual plot, I don't know, man.
Anyway, it's something I was just curious about because and I guess you get that with films that are longer. Like there's always a certain part
Yeah.
of the film where it either drags out or it's like this whole segment could have just been cut. Like even in Endgame, as much as we enjoyed it, there was that bit after. Was it the bit when there was just a certain part of that movie where it just dragged a bit? I can't
I don't
remember
know.
which bit it is
I'm gonna have to
specifically.
disagree with you. I think Infinity War and Endgame are they're perfect for their time.
I
As
don't
in,
know. Like I know what you're saying. Like they covered all the bases. I get that. But the reason why I prefer Infinity War to Endgame is it felt more concise. Like, I just felt like
yeah.
it was like bang bang.
Yeah.
Like it had way more of a crescendo. Whereas there's a certain bit in
Okay.
Endgame where the middle
Do you know
bit where
what?
they were going back
Yeah,
in time.
I know what you're talking about. It's when they had to go back to Tony's dad,
Yeah.
to go get more quantum. I can't remember. They had to go get something anyway,
It's a
and they had to
tesseract.
go. Yes, they had to go get the test. I didn't need that. I hear it.
It was
That
slightly
don't.
unnecessary. It didn't make the
Yeah,
movie any like worse for me. It's just more so like when you watch something back and you're like, oh, this is a bit of a drag
yeah.
kind
It's,
of
it's
thing.
20 minutes that I probably didn't need. I,
Yeah.
I didn't need to see. Like the film's no different with or without it.
Yeah, agreed. No, I was
But yeah.
interested.
No,
Just something that popped up in my brain.
I mean, Transformers 2, they were being very creative. The homegirl that he meets at college is actually a Transformer in human form. I thought that was genius.
They tried a lot of things and they pulled off a lot of things, but they did too much. Like
Mm.
now I'm watching Simmons and the Mexican guy run past that massive combination transformer. It's just a mess towards the
I
end
don't
of the
even know
film.
what
It's
the
just a
bad
mess.
guys wanted in that one. It was confusing. I
So
think
it
that's
was
what.
it was it was Megatron's OG. He brought him back and said, "Yo,
Yeah.
listen, come blow up the planet because I don't like the humans." But then as soon as as soon as Optimus Prime bucks them, he literally kills the Fallen within 5 minutes of meeting them. So it was a very pointless film.
Megatron's a bitch, man.
Yeah, he's just a
He
runaround.
for
He's
real.
just a runner for real.
I mean, do you know what? Dark Side of the Moon is an incredible film. I
That
don't know, like it
Is that the
doesn't get
third one?
yeah, it
the
doesn't get
third
the
one,
credit it
yeah. The
deserves,
third one
man.
was cold.
I've watched that back recently. I was like, this is so good.
The third
And
one's legitimately cold for real.
they got busy in that Transformers franchise. Anything with Mark Wahlberg though is absolute arse.
Yeah, the less we talk about the fourth and fifth one, the better.
But
Um,
shouts out to them. I would say they've redeemed the franchise. The latest one that came out, I think this year, was good.
I wasn't mad at it, although it definitely does link back, and I don't want to touch on it because we've spoke about it so much on here. But Eman, I think you messaged me like a week or two ago about CGI. Like, there's definitely something here because watching that,
Totally
literally watching
missing.
watching this one right now, and this one came out in 2008 versus that movie that came out, the Transformers that came out 3 months ago, which was good.
Mm.
The CGI is in a different league
It's
in what
janky,
I'm
in it?
looking right now. This looks incredible compared to what I
And
saw the other day.
to come on top, well, to basically go off of that, I'm not gonna say they're using smaller companies that are inexperienced to do what they're supposed to do. Because even with the smaller companies, they may have taken a short amount of time to actually do exactly what the first or the second Transformers would have been able to do. It's
Mm.
probably the time span and what these franchises are requested.
Yeah, I
Do you get
think
what I'm
so.
saying?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
Yeah.
sense. It's just
agreed.
interesting. I'd like to get somebody who works in that industry on here, man. I really would love to like know what
Well, from what I know about it,
happened.
it's not like the major studios or the major CGI studios that have been around for years, nothing's changed necessarily with them. It's more the time constraints that they're under. So obviously, if you give me a year to work on a project, I can turn in something really good. Hence the CGI we see in Avatar. I think there's just a scene where he's tying up the rope underwater that took a year to do.
That's
They're given
crazy.
that space and time to actually do the CGI to the best of their capabilities. The issue with Marvel is these men are trying to turn around films in 6 months and saying, yo, have this done in X amount of time. We can't do that. These guys are working
And,
7 days and 7 nights to try and just get something out, which is why we're seeing a dip in quality when
and
it comes to CGI.
and more so is probably they're negotiating a price where it's not in the animation, the animated the animating teams or visual effects teams favor more so. You know how they can just change something in the script real quick because
Mm,
um, the higher ups turn around and say, "No, we have to include this in the film. We have to do that to
yeah,
make sure that we reach these sort of criteria and so on and so forth." So you can have, for example, a banging film like Doctor Strange #2, and then just cut, delete several different sets, edits, scenes, and then change a whole complete different film to now a narrative to now a film that almost doesn't make sense.
yeah.
And that's the bad part. And then when we look at, for example, Spider-Man 2, the animated one,
Of
with
course,
Miles
Spider-Verse.
Morales.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Them man were
like
working.
how they took time to actually create the film. They took time to actually create a great story. Like there wasn't any you didn't hear any madness behind the scenes of, oh, they had to change this story scene, they had to do this with that sort of story, this and that. Like there were some things that were taken off of the table, but however, there was a foundation for those scenes to be made into its
Yeah,
full rendition. So then now
agreed.
we have these cases where, as Demi was saying, all these other points, and then on top of that, changing the scene, lower budgets. So that's why we have these strikes at the current moment because everyone's
Mm,
getting messed up. So it's very interesting, but they do need to step up. Everybody needs to step up and give
100.
people the time that they need in order to complete a fantastic job. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, I'm seeing Freddie Gibbs, he can be a transformer. I don't know if you've seen it, but Freddie Gibbs is out there just like he could just genuinely be a transformer. in the way people are doing digital editing
That's
animations.
brilliant. Yeah, no, I completely agree with everything you said. I think it's fascinating. If you look at like Marvel and No Way Home, they were literally still giving notes on CGI and how they wanted things to look like 2 weeks before the film was supposed to release. All that
Crazy.
shit should be done. Still trying to give pointers. So yeah, I think the amount of pressure that these CGI studios are under is the reason why we're not getting things that look to a high quality as we have been in the past. Because you look at what they managed to do with it, I think it's gone down. That's why it's
Yeah.
such a technical marvel when someone actually does something good with CGI. But you're like, the technology should be miles ahead. They should actually be able to do so much more now.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for
Let's
sure.
see what happens in the result of this strike, because people seem to. It's gone on for quite a while. Like I know that 2008 to 9 one was like a few months, whereas this one's
Or,
gone on for
or
quite for time, innit?
Yeah,
So
so it's
let's
gonna
see.
For a long time.
it will be interesting to see how this impacts the entertainment industry in general. Because that 2008-9 one, although it wasn't long, the impact it had on TV was immense. I don't know if you guys watched this show. I absolutely loved season 1 of it, Heroes.
Of
That was
course,
that
of
was
Yes.
greatly
course,
impacted by the strike. That's why season
bro.
2 in that,
It,
alas,
it never recovered,
never
man.
recovered. Never. And I would argue season 1 is up there with the best season of any TV show ever. Like
Yeah, agreed,
in terms of one season.
agreed.
Yeah, because
And
I
Amazing.
remember once you man used to bang on it, and I was like, okay.
mm,
Then I think season 2 I caught up on it, and it seemed a
Just
bit of
got
a
really
blur.
weird. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they lost the plot.
How long did it last for? Is it 5 seasons?
Well, I think it's got 4 seasons in total, but yeah, the quality in those other seasons is not worth it, especially when they laid such a foundation in those first few seasons. Another show that I quite enjoyed was Ugly Betty. That was also greatly impacted by the strikes.
Yeah,
Again,
it
just as
was. It
similar
was.
similar quality issues. Season 1, great. I would argue So I'd argue a GOAT in terms of sitcom and humor, because that wasn't even my sort of thing. But
No,
I
me
really
neither. I really like that
enjoyed,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then season 2, it was, yeah. So it impacted so many shows that I think a lot of people loved. You don't want to see this happen again. So I hope they can come to an amicable decision. But some of the stuff they're trying to do, the studios, is nasty. So that Gran
Mm.
Turismo film's supposed to come out, and the
Hmm.
man said, "We don't need the stars to promote the film. The film will promote itself. You need, listen,
What?
yeah, that's what they
Hey,
came out and said,
yeah, Sony going crazy over there.
for real. Like,
Fair
I'm
enough.
sorry.
Hey,
That
Do you think that
little
film will bang?
apparently it's good. Like the reviews I've seen of it has
Because
been positive.
I don't want it to turn into like a Need for Speed, where it was like the first 10 minutes I turned off, and Kid Cudi was supposed to be a mega star, and I was like, I'm not buying it.
oh yeah, I
Listen,
forgot about that movie.
I would
Was it
never
with
buy
Aaron
into
Aaron Paul,
Aaron
right?
Paul
That's
Yeah.
after
crazy.
after Breaking Bad. I would never buy into anything Kid Cudi sells after Man on the Moon. Someone honestly, but do you know what? He's talented. I won't take that away, but a lot of the stuff he's done hasn't entertained me.
Have you guys seen the trailer for Top Boy?
Yeah, looks good. I'm just a bit concerned. It seems like it could get a bit silly. I don't know what they're writing for. It looks larger than life, and not in a good way. I've always seen Top Boy as being
I think
quite contained.
Kano tried to. Sorry to cut you short. I think
It's all right,
Kano
man.
tried to resolve that.
Mm,
He tried to say like this story doesn't even make sense. So like there was a bit of frustration and I don't want to say grievance, but there was a bit of a push from his side
mm,
specifically, like the way it was reported that nah, that story don't even make sense. Certain things in season 2 didn't even make sense.
yeah,
Like from a real life aspect, from a story aspect, maybe it's good for TV, but from who you're presenting who you're presenting the show to, someone will be like, nah, that don't make sense, bro.
Is
no,
this the
I
interview
agree.
where Kano was like, "Yeah, Sully wouldn't do that," because
Was
they
that the
told
one
him
with Andrew Schultz?
No. I think this is something totally
maybe.
different.
Maybe.
Yes.
Do you know? So I shout out to Max. He did like a little, not a little, but he did a TikTok on this and say, presenting. It's been clear that Kano hasn't been happy with the storyline. But the aspects of the
Yeah.
storyline, people weren't sure as to what it was. And they were saying he was saying the character wouldn't do this, the show wouldn't do this, and I think that's kind of obviously I've not seen it, but I feel like that's kind of reflected in the trailer. Like it looks like they're rioting. I'm a bit like, okay, I've not seen it, but how did we get here? I'm not too sure how we've got to this point where it looks like they're rioting in the streets. It's getting a bit. It does look over the top. I'm still impressed with what I saw, and I know the product that I'm going to receive is still going to be good, but it feels like the trailer felt like a different show.
What are
I'll say.
your predictions for what's gonna happen? Because what you predicted might come to pass, where my man's brother is gonna come rise it.
Oh yeah. I think that's definitely happening. If you look closely, he's actually wearing Jamie's t-shirt and wearing his chain. I don't know what that's supposed to symbolize, but if you want to get into your GCSE literate bag, it looks like it's trying to say that he's gonna take his place.
And to be fair to him, he does, like, even in general, like outside of the show, if you go on his Insta, he looks older. Like he actually does look a lot older than he does when he was on the show. So it might
So
work actually.
you think he's going into the role?
Yeah, I think it actually could work. I changed my mind on that. I know I was very vocal about it, not it looked like becoming really unrealistic, but I don't know. I think it was Reese who designed the suit for him during the premiere or
Yeah.
something like that, and he actually looked quite mature. So I think they could pull it off.
He's got the acting chops for it as well. He really impressed me last year or in the previous season. So I think he can handle the gravitas that role will have. Is we have to remember this is also the final season, so I don't want him to try and introduce something that feels like, can you tell this story properly? Is he going to be able to get his lick back, or does he even want revenge?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'll be very interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. I hope they end it well. I do definitely think one of Deshane or Sully is gone for. I got a feeling. I think Sully has to go. They've got to kill Sully in some capacity.
It's over. I can't co-sign his behavior, especially after what he did last season.
Yeah, somebody has to go.
Why? What's the problem?
I didn't enjoy
because
I think
from a level, everything that he did, what he did to what's this?
Jamie.
I can't remember.
Jamie,
yeah. What he did to Jamie in terms of gunning him right there and then is absolutely correct. In every scene, in every movie, in everything that you've ever seen, what Deshane did was absolutely stupid, and what Sully did was correct.
Deshane?
You're the ops, yeah, because Deshane basically took the op and made him his friend, and then said, "Yeah, you got a trap for me now." And he took him to the feds. That's not a real gangster storyline. I'm not gonna lie to you. What Sully did was genuine gangster. He said, "You tried to kill man, and you were the ops at one point. Then you tried to run man out of our ends, safe. And then all this other stuff that you tried to do behind our backs, I can't forgive it. Done."
I hear it, but sometimes you have to move smart. I think
I know what you're saying from Deshane's point of view, but then at the same time, Sully needs to do what Sully needs to do in order to make sure it's the best of our interests. Because you can't have the ops working for us, knowing how we move, and then you're telling the ops to go to Spain. You're now telling the ops to go do deals, mega deals. Do you not see what's going on? So if I'm Sully, I'm thinking, hang on a minute. 2 and 2 must equal 4. Because what you're doing is making it equal 7. And that don't make sense. I have to done him. I am your partner. We're 50-50. You're not above me and I'm not above you. But what you're doing right now is stupid. For the best of us, he has to die. Okay. So what he did was amazing.
I hear it.
From the story part. Yeah, from the story
part. I hear what you're saying. And to a certain extent, I actually agree. But I just feel Sully has to die because you're in this life, it will catch up with you. Karma is real. He's done too many, man. He's moved so wild throughout the whole series. That's also Summer House as well. he
Mm.
can't get away with all of this stuff for so long. And the decision he's made, the drama alone that it will cause for them, I'm not surprised that it's gonna get him in hot water.
But it did catch up to him though.
Has it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think he's got off pretty.
Unks.
He's got off pretty scot-free.
I said unks.
Unks trying to take one for idiot, and then he went to the gym, got banged up in the gym. So you
But
remember that
he
scene?
got out of that situation because
He
his
got
boys bailed him
pasted.
out.
He got no, but he deserved it. He didn't have to do all that when you're talking or whatever, but he got pasted and he got it.
Rightly so.
He got it like 6'9".
Yeah, he got weighed in.
Weighed
Still.
in.
He got weighed in still.
I hope they bring back Pebbles.
Listen. Hey, did you see the trailer? They got my man, the guy who's playing the Joker in it.
Baron Keane.
Yeah, he might cook.
He's him.
I reckon he's gonna cook. I don't know what
He's
they're
a
gonna
really
get
good
him
actor.
into.
He's a really good
They're
actor.
gonna get that
I watched
boy
him in a
cooking.
film called The Barrier of Machine or something like that. It's a film set in prehistoric Ireland, and it was really good, and he was great in it. So I'm a fan of him. I don't think the Joker might have been people's brief introduction to him, but yeah, that boy can cook. He's cooking with gas.
Fair enough. Let's see what he does.
For
I'm
real.
excited. When is
Yeah.
it? September? It's coming on.
Top Boy always comes around when you least expect it. But you know what?
I'm here for it.
Obviously, you
Man.
need that, yeah, for sure. That's proper
Yeah.
UK TV right there.
Oh God.
1000%.
All right, we've got 6 minutes. Should we do music, or
Yeah,
can
man.
we fit something in quickly?
What do you think of Fredo's album? Or did you listen?
I haven't
I'm not
listened
listening to
yet,
that. Oh my,
unfortunately.
he might have the worst lyric I've ever heard in my life.
What is it again? I was top of tailing with my
was-
brother and he was farting in the bed.
That's an insane thing to say.
And it stinks.
I couldn't believe it, man.
I think he was trying to relate to someone and it didn't make sense.
The only person that can relate to that is him. That was gross. I could've got
Fredo strikes me as a man who just says what's on his mind sometimes, and I think he might need his brethren around him to reel it in. Because
Well,
he is very funny, and he is
He
very
wants to do a
witty.
tape with Nines. I hope if they, like,
No, that isn't. No, I don't really want to hear that. Still,
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if I like his music. You know,
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he's good, but he's not good at the same time. I can't really make it make sense.
I really like him. I think he's he's a great character. He's great for the scene, and he has some good songs. But I don't know if I like his music, man. I'll be honest with you.
No, I don't think I could sit through a whole tape. Whenever he does give great performances, that song with him and Dave,
Money Talks.
Yeah, Money Talks is a great song. And even Freaky Friday or Funky Friday, sorry. Enjoy that song. There's been performances from him that I've enjoyed, but I think recently, and it might go back to the argument we've had on this show several times, whereby when you've done 100 songs or more, the quality starts to dip just naturally. And I think he's starting to get to that point because my God, that lyric he dropped, I just could not believe. Who okays this? If I'm your manager, I'm saying, let's tighten this up, man.
Yeah, that really did.
Pause.
It was bad. Yeah, pause. Sure.
Did you like the album, Eman?
It was repetitive.
Oh, there
it was
you go.
calm, but it was repetitive. So like there was a few tracks where they were really nice and really good, but I just thought that was a bit repetitive. And that's only from the first listen. So I can't really give a conclusive answer to that. But I'll just say it was all right for what it was. But for me, it was a bit repetitive. Yeah.
I hear it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean,
I think something else released recently.
Someone else released, but I haven't had a chance to listen to it.
Uncle Waffles. Shout out to Uncle Waffles. She released recently. Actually, I need to get a song. I want to put a song on it for
Yeah, Giga's album came out. I've listened to individual tracks, but not the whole thing yet.
Yeah.
It didn't sound that bad, to be fair. The songs I heard sounded okay.
That Day verse, he might want to ask for his money back.
I need to listen to it again. I wasn't sure how I felt about it.
it's a
It's
weird
obviously the
flow from
weakest
him.
of the ones where he's obviously jumped on gig songs for sure, but I don't know if I hate it yet. I need to listen to it again.
I wasn't
Probably
impressed. I
listen
just
to
felt.
that off when I'm going home.
Mm.
Fair enough.
That ride journey is going to be a long one. Boring.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with "Welcome to My Strip" by Unknown T. Great song. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's off his latest EP, Before the Smoke.
Yeah, that sounded good actually. I quite like that song. Um, I'm gonna pick a song by Lancey Foe and Sexy Red called
Yes, Lancey.
Hey, that song is so hard, man. I can't believe I like Sexy Red. This is what I like.
She is ass, but she's so much fun. I want to be friends with her.
For real, bro. That song is hard as shit.
I might catch something with her being in my vicinity, but listen, she is an absolute character.
Hey,
Lancey.
Lancey. Yo, that song slaps, bro. Eman, what's your
I'm
choice?
Oh, I
My
love that.
choice is from the new album Solace by Uncle Waffles, and it's called Peacock Revisits.
Ooh, okay.
Okay,
Is
interesting.
Yeah,
What genre is that again?
I'm a piano.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
All
you'll
right.
like it. But then also there's a
Oh,
honorable
she's buff.
shout out, honorable shout out, which is Jungles. My sister's been listening to it, and I really enjoy what they're doing. It's really good song. I think the guys are from the UK.
Who is
I'm
it?
Mm.
not too
Jungle, do you
sure.
say?
Jungles. It's either Jungle or Jungles. I don't know what their
I
name's
reckon it's
called.
Jungle still. Jungle are cold. I like
Yeah,
Jungle.
yeah. Like really soulful, nice music. So
I
yeah.
got a new album. Let me actually add it to my. Let's listen to that still. All right, cool. Nice one, lads.
Yeah, well done. Good episode, that.
Of course, of course, of course, of course.
Less than a minute. So, Made in Chafford podcast episode 204. We'll be back in the flesh on the next episode. So, yeah, no more of this Zoom and online stuff, but had to make do. So, well done to
Now
us.
it'll happen again for another guest, but I need to
I
confirm
hear
dates. Yeah,
All
and
right,
you
cool.
will need to attend. Confirm the
it.
date, attend, innit?
All right, say
They know who
less.
they are, but shouts to them.
Love for that. Yeah, 204.
And we out.
Of
Peace.
course, bless.